Have you noticed certain animals crossing your path lately, at strange times, in strange places, almost as if they were looking directly at you? Most people ignore moments like that, but chosen ones can't, because nothing in a chosen one's life happens by accident, especially when God is redirecting your steps, when your destiny is shifting, when heaven is preparing a new path for you, when God is closing one chapter and opening another. He doesn't always use dreams. He doesn't always use people. Sometimes he uses creation itself. Animals show up as messengers, warnings, confirmations, and signs that something in your spiritual timeline is being rewritten. And if you've seen one of these animals this week, it wasn't random. It was intentional, it was spiritual, it was directed. Today, we're breaking down the 7 animals God sends when he's redirecting a chosen one's life, and the meaning behind each encounter. Some of these signs are comforting, some are warnings, and some are so rare that they only appear when a major shift is about to hit your life. So before we start, ask yourself one question. Which animal has been showing up around me lately, and why? Let's begin. When God begins to redirect the life of a chosen one, the shift rarely starts with something loud. It rarely begins with a dramatic moment or a clear instruction. In fact, most true spiritual realignments begin quietly, almost invisibly, almost softly enough that only someone spiritually sensitive would even notice. And that is why God often uses creation itself, specifically animals, to speak to chosen ones long before the change becomes visible in the physical world. Animals are not random creatures passing by. They operate on instinct, yes, but instinct is only the outer layer. Beneath it lies perception, sensitivity, the ability to sense frequencies, shifts, dangers, blessings, and presences that human logic can't process as quickly. They react to what is moving in the unseen long before humans do. And because of this, God often positions them as messengers on the path of someone he is guiding, protecting, warning, or elevating. So in this first part of the message, we begin with 2 of the most powerful signs. 2 animals that show up when your direction is changing at a soul level. 2 encounters that almost always happen close together during a divine redirection. And if you've seen either of them recently, there is a reason you were chosen to notice. Let's start with the first. 1. The hawk, the sign of higher vision. When a hawk appears around a chosen one, especially more than once, it is not a coincidence. Hawks are messengers of elevation, clarity, and spiritual perspective. They fly higher than most birds, but more importantly, they see further. Their eyes are designed to detect movement from miles away. They focus with a precision that even advanced technology cannot replicate. When God is redirecting your life, one of the first things he adjusts is your vision. What you focus on, what you ignore, what you suddenly notice, what no longer distracts you. The hawk shows up to announce this shift. It is the symbol of a new perspective rising inside you. Chosen ones often see hawks during times when they feel stuck, confused, or uncertain, and the message is clear: rise above it. You are not meant to handle this situation from your old viewpoint. God is lifting you to a higher vantage point so you can see what he sees. He is removing the fog. He is clearing emotional noise. He is sharpening your discernment. If you have recently seen a hawk circling above you, flying unusually low, landing where you could clearly see it, or appearing repeatedly on roads, windows, signs, or paths, pay attention. This is not random. It is heaven's nudge that a higher calling is awakening. Something in your life is about to require clarity you didn't have before, and God is preparing you to see it before it arrives. But the hawk brings another message that many chosen ones overlook: precision. Hawks do not chase everything. They wait for the exact moment, the exact opening, the exact alignment. When God redirects your path, He often calls you into a season of selective action. Not every opportunity is for you. Not every relationship deserves access. Not every invitation should be accepted. The hawk appears to remind you, patience is not delay, it is timing. And timing is the language of destiny. If you have felt the urge to slow down, observe, reassess, or pull back, the hawk is confirmation that you are not drifting, you are recalibrating. And once this recalibration begins, the second animal often follows. 2. The black cat, the spiritual threshold guardian. People misunderstand the black cat more than any other spiritual sign. For generations, culture painted it as a symbol of bad luck, fear, or superstition. But spiritually, the black cat represents something completely different: the threshold, the crossing point, the invisible line between one chapter of your life and the next. Black cats show up around chosen ones during moments of spiritual sensitivity. They appear when your intuition becomes sharper, when your dreams become clearer, when your emotions become louder, when the atmosphere around you begins to shift. They do not carry negative energy. They reveal it. They detect it. They expose it. When God is redirecting your life, He often reveals anything or anyone that cannot come with you into the next season. Black cats are highly perceptive animals. They sense emotional tension, spiritual heaviness, and energetic inconsistencies faster than almost any other creature. So when one suddenly appears around you, stares at you, crosses your path, or sits still in your presence, it is a sign. Something in your environment needs discernment. For some chosen ones, the black cat appears during periods of relational transition. Someone around you may be wearing a mask. Someone may not be what they seem. Someone may have intentions that your mind cannot read, but your spirit can feel. For others, the black cat represents a warning about internal clutter, unresolved emotions, unspoken truths, inner resistance, self-sabotage patterns, or fear-based decisions. When God redirects you, He removes what blocks your next step. And the black cat shows up when something internal or external needs to be confronted. But perhaps the most powerful message the black cat brings is this: move wisely. Not fearfully, but wisely. God is shifting your path, but some areas require caution. Some doors are not meant to be reopened. Some people are not meant to return. Some habits cannot follow you forward. The black cat does not bring danger. It reveals where danger hides. If you have seen a black cat more than once, especially if it appeared at night near your home or during a moment of emotional intensity, you are in a spiritual threshold. Something is ending, something is beginning, and you are standing at the doorway. But here is where the pattern becomes even more mysterious. The hawk brings elevation, the black cat brings discernment, and the third animal, perhaps the rarest of the seven, brings something entirely different: confirmation. A signal that what has been shifting in the unseen is finally about to manifest in the physical. Because when this next animal appears, it means one thing: the redirection is no longer subtle. It is arriving. And once you understand why this creature shows up around chosen ones, you will never look at it the same way again. Shall we go deeper? When a chosen one enters a season where God is redirecting their life, the signs become progressively clearer. The first two animals, the hawk and the black cat, signal elevation and discernment. They prepare your spirit for a shift in vision and a shift in perception. But the next stage is different. The next stage involves movement. Not spiritual movement alone, but physical, emotional, and environmental movement. And that is why the third animal on this list appears as a sign of transition, guidance, and divine interruption. It rarely shows up by accident. And when it does, it often appears during times when your heart is heavy, your mind is searching for direction, or your soul feels suspended between chapters. Let's move to the third animal. 3. The deer, the messenger of gentle redirection. If a hawk represents sharpened vision and the black cat represents heightened discernment, the deer represents something far more emotional, the soft turning of your path. Chosen ones encounter deer during seasons when God is shifting them away from chaos, conflict, noise, or environments that no longer match their spiritual frequency. The deer appears with a specific purpose: to draw you into peace so you can hear God clearly. Deer are incredibly sensitive creatures. They detect danger long before humans do. They move with intuition, not logic. They trust their sense of atmosphere, and they don't adjust to their environment. They select environments that protect their spirit. When a deer appears around a chosen one, it means God is inviting you out of something, out of a stressful situation, out of a draining relationship, out of a place where your soul has been fighting too long, out of a dynamic that once felt necessary but now feels suffocating. Deer often appear near roads, trails, parks, or forests, but they also appear symbolically in dreams, videos, images, conversations, or unexpected sightings. And every time they show up, they carry the same message. You are being led away from something that no longer serves your calling. Many chosen ones report seeing deer during moments of emotional exhaustion, times of spiritual confusion, periods of relational strain, transitions they didn't ask for, but can no longer avoid. If you've been feeling an internal pull toward stillness or solitude, the deer is confirmation that this pull is not isolation, it is recalibration. God is quieting the noise so he can redirect your steps. And like the deer, you don't need to fight, argue, or explain. You simply need to follow the peace. But this gentle guidance is only the beginning, because when the deer appears, a fourth animal often follows it. And the fourth is not gentle, the fourth is not quiet, the fourth does not whisper. The fourth animal interrupts. It steps into your life with urgency, intensity, and authority. And it usually appears when you've been trying to ignore a truth that God has been trying to reveal. This is the fourth sign. 4. The owl, the harbinger of hidden truth. If the deer guides, the owl exposes. And exposure is one of the most consistent signs that God is redirecting a chosen one's life. Owls carry a presence that stops you in your tracks. They appear rarely, and when they do, it is never meaningless. Their symbolism is tied to wisdom, revelation, secrets coming to light, and the unveiling of what has been hidden in the spiritual realm. Owls are nocturnal. They thrive in darkness, but not because they belong to it. They navigate it. They illuminate it. They move through what others cannot see, and when God is redirecting a chosen one, the owl appears to signal that truth, deep, uncomfortable, necessary truth, is about to surface. This truth might involve a person's true intentions, a hidden motive, a spiritual attack you didn't recognize, a pattern you've repeated, a door you should never have opened, a decision you've avoided, a calling you've resisted. Owls force clarity. They do not comfort you, they confront you. Many chosen ones see owls during times when they feel something is off but can't explain it, when their intuition is sounding an alarm, when their dreams are becoming more vivid, when their emotions rise without clear reason, when they sense a shift in someone's behavior but lack evidence. The owl appears because evidence is coming. God never leaves his chosen ones in deception. So when the owl shows up, whether physically, symbolically in dreams, or repetitively across your day, it is a sign that the veil is lifting. Whatever has been concealed will be revealed, and the truth will redirect your path faster than anything else. But the owl does more than reveal. It prepares. Every time truth rises, a decision must follow. A chosen one cannot stay where God reveals corruption, deception, or misalignment. And so the owl's message is clear. You are about to see something that will require change. This change may be internal or external. It may involve people or paths. It may be painful or liberating, but it will not be optional. The owl represents the moment God removes your excuses, because once you see the truth, you can no longer pretend you don't. But here is where the pattern becomes fascinating. The hawk elevates your vision. The black cat sharpens your discernment. The deer guides you toward peace. The owl exposes what you could not see. And after those 4 steps, something happens. Something rare. Something unmistakably divine. When God redirects a chosen one's life, there is always a moment when the shift becomes physical, not emotional, not symbolic, not internal, physical. The environment changes, people shift, opportunities appear or disappear. The atmosphere becomes charged, heavy, electric, and that is when the 5th animal appears. An animal that doesn't show up simply as a sign. It shows up as a catalyst, a breaker, a disruptor, the final push that accelerates you into a new season. Because while the owl reveals truth, the next animal activates movement. And once you understand why this creature appears, you will realize that your redirection isn't coming. It has already begun. Ready for the 5th sign? When God is redirecting the life of a chosen one, there is a moment when spiritual signals become unmistakably physical. Not symbolic, not subtle, not internal, physical. It is the point where the shift begins to affect your environment, your habits, your relationships, your timing, and the atmosphere around you. The first 4 animals, hawk, black cat, deer, and owl, prepare your spirit. They sharpen your vision, heighten your discernment, soften your transition, and reveal hidden truth. But the next phase is different. The next phase is movement, acceleration, a disruption that breaks you out of cycles you would never leave on your own. This is where the 5th animal enters. It does not whisper. It does not observe from a distance. It steps into your path, literally, and when it does, it carries a weight that chosen ones feel instantly. Let's move to the 5th sign. 5. The snake, the symbol of shedding and sudden transformation. Most people panic when they see a snake. But spiritually, snakes do not appear to intimidate chosen ones. They appear to announce transformation. More specifically, transformation that happens faster than your mind is ready for. A snake sheds its skin when it outgrows its old identity. It does not negotiate with the old layer. It does not cling to comfort. It does not delay the process. It simply recognizes, this no longer fits me. And then it releases it. When a chosen one sees a snake, physically, symbolically in dreams, or repeatedly in their surroundings, it is a sign that God is removing something you have outgrown. This may be a mindset, a relationship, a location, a career path, a habit, a calling you once thought was permanent. Snakes appear when your life is shifting faster than your comfort zone can keep up with. They show up in periods of rapid acceleration, where old identities begin to feel tight, restricting, and almost suffocating. Snakes also appear when something must end before something greater can begin. Many chosen ones report seeing snakes in moments where they feel trapped or stretched, moments where they've tried to hold on to a season that God has already called expired. But perhaps the most powerful message the snake brings is this: transformation is not painful. Resistance is. The snake does not struggle with the shedding process. The only time it becomes dangerous is when the snake refuses to release what no longer belongs. If a snake has appeared in your path, God is telling you one thing clearly: your old life cannot contain your new purpose. And once this shedding begins, a 6th creature often appears. An animal that serves as a spiritual mirror, revealing what is inside you by reflecting something outside of you. This next animal does not warn or guide, it confirms. Because once shedding begins, identity must solidify. This takes us to the 6th sign. 6. The crow. The announcer of spiritual awakening and inner power. Crows have long been misunderstood. They are often associated with fear or negativity, but spiritually, they carry a powerful and sacred role for chosen ones. They are messengers of awakening. Crows are highly intelligent, intuitive, emotionally aware, and unusually connected to the energy of a place or person. When a crow appears repeatedly around a chosen one, it is not a random sighting. It is a message that something inside you is waking up. Crows show up when your intuition intensifies, your dreams become vivid, your perception becomes sharper, your emotional reactions become stronger, your spiritual authority increases, your discernment becomes immediate and unavoidable. If the owl exposes hidden truth, the crow activates the power to respond to it. Crows are bold. They do not hide. They do not wait. They do not operate in silence. They show up loudly, purposely and repeatedly, because they carry messages that demand your attention. Chosen ones often see crows during seasons when a chapter is closing, a spiritual gift is activating, a past cycle is breaking, a hidden enemy is being revealed, a divine assignment is emerging. Crows symbolize courage, the courage to face what you fear, the courage to speak what you have silenced, the courage to confront what you ignored, the courage to take the step you know you must take. But the crow carries another message that many overlook. Authority is awakening in you. Crows do not follow, they lead. They do not scatter, they stand their ground. They do not retreat from their environment, they shape it. When a crow appears around a chosen one, it is a sign that God is establishing spiritual authority in your life. The version of you that once apologized for your calling is gone. The version that once shrank to make others comfortable is gone. The version that doubted your own discernment is gone. The snake sheds your past. The crow awakens your power. And together, these two animals mark the point where you can no longer return to who you were, but the pattern does not end at awakening. It builds toward something even deeper, because once transformation begins and authority awakens, a seventh animal emerges, an animal that does not appear for everyone, only for chosen ones entering a completely new destiny structure. This final creature represents completion, alignment, and divine protection. It signals not only that your path is redirecting, but that your new path has already begun to take shape in the spiritual realm. And when this seventh animal appears, it carries one of the most unmistakable messages God sends. Most people miss it. Most overlook it. Most think it is only a coincidence. But for a chosen one, it is the announcement of a destiny shift so significant that nothing after it remains the same. Are you ready for the final sign? The journey through these signs has carried you from elevation to discernment, from gentle redirection to revelation, from shedding to awakening. Each animal, the hawk, the black cat, the deer, the owl, the snake, and the crow, reveals a different stage of your spiritual transition. But there is one more sign, the final animal. The one that appears not just when God is redirecting a chosen one, but when he is establishing the new path. The seventh animal is unlike the others. It doesn't represent warning, transition, shedding, or awakening. It represents alignment, completion, divine orchestration. The moment when heaven and earth intersect, and your new direction begins to manifest physically around you. This final messenger shows up when your future is already moving into place, even if you haven't stepped into it yet. Let's move to the seventh sign. 7. The white butterfly, the messenger of destiny alignment. Among all the animals God uses to speak to chosen ones, the appearance of a white butterfly is one of the most profound. Not because it is dramatic or intimidating, but because it carries a message that is unmistakably divine. Your new path is already unfolding. White butterflies symbolize purity, transition, spiritual confirmation, and the presence of heavenly guidance. They appear during seasons when the weight of your past has lifted and the atmosphere around your life becomes lighter, clearer, and more purposeful. When you see a white butterfly, it is a sign that the redirection is complete. The shift is no longer internal. It is now visible, active, and divinely supported. White butterflies carry three core prophetic meanings for chosen ones. Meaning 1, the confirmation of release. A white butterfly often appears shortly after a season of emotional heaviness, confusion, conflict, or spiritual warfare. It is a visual confirmation that what held you captive has been broken. The chain that once restricted you has been removed. The atmosphere around your life has shifted. Many chosen ones report seeing a white butterfly in moments when they finally let go of something they were never meant to carry. Old relationships, old fears, old dreams, old identities. The butterfly appears as a sign that release has already been accepted in heaven. It is God's way of saying, you did it, you let go. Now watch what I build from here. Meaning 2, the arrival of divine timing. White butterflies show up when God's timing begins to align with your obedience. You no longer feel out of place or out of rhythm. Divine timing begins to move around you. Opportunities feel guided rather than forced. Doors open naturally. Conversations unfold effortlessly. The pace of your life begins to feel orchestrated rather than chaotic. This is because your transition is no longer about preparing you. It is now about positioning you. A white butterfly is a sign that the timing you have prayed for is beginning to take shape. Something you once thought was delayed was never delayed. It simply wasn't aligned yet. But now, alignment has begun. Meaning 3, heavenly guidance is actively surrounding you. White butterflies often fly close to chosen ones. They hover, linger, circle, or follow for a moment, as if acknowledging your presence. This is not coincidence. It is a reminder that spiritual guidance is active, present, and protective. It means God has assigned clarity, peace, intuition, and angelic presence to guard your next steps. Your path is not only being redirected, it is being guided with intention. If you have seen a white butterfly recently, particularly after emotional release, breakthrough, or a moment of clarity, it is one of the strongest signs that God has already prepared the next chapter of your life. And all that is left is for you to step into it. Why this final sign matters more than the others. Each of the previous animals represented a stage: vision, discernment, redirection, revelation, shedding, and awakening. But the white butterfly represents the moment where heaven confirms, you are ready. The white butterfly appears when the spiritual shift is complete, when the new direction is blessed, when the danger has passed, when the chapter is closed, when the new assignment is active. This is why many chosen ones encounter white butterflies at the exact moment when something inside them finally feels free again. The butterfly is a visual echo of that internal liberation. Your transformation has not been random. Your steps have not been accidental. Your path has not been forgotten. Every stage, every sign, every shift has been preparing you for what comes next. Because when God redirects the life of a chosen one, He never redirects it halfway. He completes the work. And the appearance of the white butterfly means the completion has already begun. But here is something deeper, something most people never realize. Your redirection is not just for you. It is for the assignment attached to your life, the people who will be transformed through you, the doors that will open because you obeyed, the future that requires your healed, awakened, aligned version, not the past version you shed along the way. So if you have seen one or two of these animals, pay attention. But if you have seen more than two, your redirection is active. If you have seen 3 or 4, your life is already shifting. And if you have seen 5, 6, or all 7, then understand this. Your destiny has already turned, and nothing can push you back into the direction God pulled you out of. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of the chapter you were always meant to live. Before you go, remember this. If you are a chosen one, your path will never look like everyone else's. Your signs will not look like theirs. Your lessons will not match theirs. Your timing will not follow theirs. And your destiny will not resemble anything average or predictable. God speaks to you differently because He designed you differently. If this message confirmed something in your spirit, if it gave language to what you have been sensing, or if any of these animals have appeared around you recently, then you are in a season of divine redirection. Stay sensitive, stay aligned, stay aware. Your next breakthrough may already be in motion. And if you want deeper guidance, deeper prophetic understanding, and weekly messages created specifically for chosen ones walking through spiritual awakening, healing, warfare, alignment, and destiny, subscribe to Marked and Chosen. That channel was built for people like you, those who feel different, see differently, sense differently, and are being shaped for a calling most people will never understand. Join the community, stay connected, and never walk through your spiritual journey alone again. Your redirection has begun. Now walk in it.